Hi everyone. It's Tuesday night, means it's time for Reading with Me. I'm Steph from the book of Even More Awesome. Last week we heard about riding home with hot pizza on your lap, glue movies, and tonight I have a few passages that might be very well resonating with us now as we're at home and trying to get through some tough times together. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. from my mobile office at home from the Rochelle. Hit you in the right spot. And I want to thank Neil Pasricha one more time for giving me the opportunity to read these passages out loud on our YouTube channel for all of our library subscribers. This first chapter, slowing down, which is really important. Even though we might be working from home, we might be working extra hard and taking on a lot more. So it is important to slow down. And here's what Neil Pasricha has to say. Time is an illusion. Baby, we're all just spinning chaotic lives. We tack calendars on our kitchen cabinets with organized checkerboards of days and weeks and months. We make plans for Saturday night, sleep in on Sunday, and head to work on Monday morning. See, now instead of swirling and twirling, we've got minutes and hours and days and weeks and months and years and lives. Oh, sure, maybe setting a calendar on the beautiful insanity of life is like placing a square of tissue paper on a hurricane. But without the structure and routine, we just sort of wander around aimlessly forever. You know what I mean? I think we do know what you mean, Neil. Hey man, when are you gonna finish college? Dude, I don't know. Maybe when my beard touches my knees? No. We need order. We want order. We crave order. We love order. Order gives us birthdays, anniversaries, and hair appointments. Order gives us recess bells, cake baking smell, and Christmas Eve with the family. Order gives us library readings, holiday greetings, and long weekends in the summer. Order gives us a lot. But sometimes it's great to slow down and get swirly twirly anyway. Sometimes it's great to set up a crinkly tent on the damp edge of a gushing river and camp out under the stars with someone you love. Sometimes it's great to shudder in and veg out on the stained corduroy couch during a snowy weekend at school. Sometimes it's great to slap on baggy khaki shorts and a bright shirt and fly to a distant island just to lie on a hot sandy beach in front of the blue, glittering ocean. That sounds amazing right now. Sometimes it's great to step back and stare at the clouds and sky. Sometimes it's great to let your thoughts float free and float high. Sometimes it's great to close your eyes and let it all slip away. Sometimes it's great to forget the clock and dream a dream today. Awesome. And I think even though we're home under unforeseen circumstances, we can slow down and enjoy our lives in our homes and the time that we have with ourselves and with our family. The next selection, we all might be baking or doing a lot of cooking while we're at home. And this chapter is about eating the last piece of anything. See if you can relate. Occasionally, a kind soul will come over to a barbecue toting a homemade dessert from some combination of apples, brown sugar, brownie batter, toffee bits, marshmallows, cherry, and oatmeal. Sounds like the apple crisp I made the other night, actually. They set their heavy glass dish down on my kitchen counter and peel back the plastic bag to reveal an earth-toned rainbow of deliciosity. We gaze at its beauty for a moment, then look at the pile of cold weenies and bulk pack of yellow macaroni salad lying on the counter and walk away, knowing that we'll get to that dessert later, just as soon as we fill our stomachs with all the cheap stuff everyone else picked up from the clearance rack. I'm guilty of that. And eventually, the end of the meal arrives, and the hero dessert is paraded to the table with pomp, fanfare, forks, and a stack of plates. But by now, everyone is stuffed. And so while people dip into this rectangle of tastiness, they just don't have room to send the empty dish back. Inevitably gets saran wrapped and put in the fridge for leftovers, hasty promises made to return to it another time. And that's when it gets interesting. I'm a pretty big fan of dessert. I like its style. I think it's cool. And so I eat it as soon as possible. I have a piece here. I have a piece there. It replaces bread the next morning at breakfast, starch the next evening at dinner. I chip away at it until eventually there is only one piece left. And it is the consumption of the last piece, that final beautiful square of leftover homemade dessert, that is always the sweetest. See, by this point, it's an old friend. I know its taste well. I've succumbed to its vice-like grip over me for a few days since the party. I may actually be sick of it, but I would never admit it. All I know is that there are only a couple more minutes left of enjoying its company forever. It is a very happy, yet very sad time. There are some ways that eating the last remaining piece of dessert can be made sweeter, though. Number one, eating it cold. When a dessert is only a couple feet away from your mouth, there's really no time to allow for heating. That gives you plus 5 points. Number two, eating it straight from the big serving dish. This is tricky because if you're watching TV, you need to awkwardly lift a 3-pound glass dish with one hand so you can shovel the dessert into your mouth with the other. Watch out for wobbling. That gives you 10 points. Number three, scraping every last crumb, ring of dried icing, and molecule of congealed syrup out of the dish, even using a spatula if you have to. Licking it is optional here, but may be necessary. That's 15 points. Number four, the big one. Thinking about the dessert just before you're about to fall asleep, or when you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, thinking about it and not being able to get it out of your head until you walk into the kitchen, your feet freezing on the cold linoleum, grabbing your way through the black maze of your apartment until you pop open that refrigerator door. It's bright, like beaming out at you like the gates of heaven opening, and you just grab that saran wrapped slice of greatness and eat it right on up. 100 points. Awesome. I think I know that feeling of waking up in the middle of the night hungry and needing something delicious to eat, and I think you can too. You can relate to that last piece of dessert when it's so delicious and it's all you can think about, and you just savor it until the very end. And here is a very quick one to wrap up my reading for this evening. This is getting through right away when you call a big company. I know we all might be doing this now to check the status of taxes or stimulus checks or anything that we might be experiencing with our jobs. So we have to call a number that everyone else is calling at the same time. So once again, this is getting through right away when you call a big company. Thank you for calling. We are experiencing lower than normal call volumes. Awesome. So those are my readings for tonight from the book of Even More Awesome by Neil Pasricha. I hope you enjoyed the readings tonight and that you could relate to them. I'll be back on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock here on our Providence Community Library YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our wonderful youth services librarians throughout the week doing their story times. including Rochambeau's own Sammy and Lakin with their ASL story times Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m. And also watch out for a virtual coloring club with Miss Amy from Washington Park, STEAM craft activities with Mr. Kevin, story times with Mr. Garrett at Mount Pleasant, and many, many more wonderful staff at the Providence Community Library. Check out our Facebook page as well so you don't miss anything going on throughout the week. Hope you stay dry the rest of this day. Stay safe from the storm. I'll see you Thursday evening at 7 o'clock here for more awesome. Have a great night, everyone. And don't forget to eat that last piece of dessert. Have a good night. Bye.